If you're after an efficient and powerful pump for your aquarium, pond, even hydroponic system, this pump might be what you're looking for. This is the AQ096 by AQUA. This is a fully controllable water pump with a lot of efficiency and safety features. So we can see here the pump out of the box. This is actually the smallest in the range. This is the 60 watt model. There is also an 80 and 100 watt version of this pump. You can see here the head height is 5.3 meters. That's the maximum this will pump, and the volume that this throws out is 7,720 litres. Inside the box we clearly have the pump. We have a different cover, and this is a really interesting feature that I've not seen anywhere else before actually, and it gives you two options of where you want this pump to draw the water. So the pre-installed cover is like any cover you've ever seen on a pump, kind of sucks from all directions. However, you also have this one, which only draws water from the bottom of where you've placed the pump. That's really pretty cool. It's an interesting little addition I've not seen in any other pump before. It even has these little feet here that allows it just to stand off the bottom of the glass. I guess what this does is it stops you getting that build-up of mulm that you get in things like sumps. Past that though, we have an easy to access impeller. You can see the impeller's inside of there. And then to access the impeller, you just twist it and we get full access to this impeller. And this is a very meaty impeller. Not like the more fragile ones you might see on smaller pumps. This is definitely going to throw some water through. We've got a ceramic shaft, a little bit of grease on there, I guess that's just lubricating oil. And then we've got our magnet. And the good thing about this, having the ceramic shaft, means we can use it in salt water as well as fresh water. So this could be used, like I mentioned before, as an aquarium sump pump or a system pump for salt water or fresh water, or even in your pond, wherever you would like. Good thing is though, it's very easy to access, which means cleaning and maintenance is a doddle. We have got a massive array of different hose adapters here. This is basically every size you would ever need. And you'll also notice we have some with these screw threads, and that's one of the great features of this pump, is actually you can run it amphibiously, and that basically means you'll stick these two on here, and it means the pump doesn't actually need to be in your aquarium, so you can use this effectively as a system pump to blow water around any system. And I guess that would be useful on large aquarium setups, potentially in ponds, or also if you've got a hydroponic system, this could be used just to draw your water through that entire hydroponic system. So in terms of mounting the pump controller, you've only really got a couple of options on here. The first one, which is designed for, we've got this sticky pad which slots into that part there. So I guess the idea of this is you would stick this on the inside of your cupboard door, your aquarium cupboard door, or maybe onto the glass of your sump or something like that, and then you can mount the controller on there. What I'm going to be doing is actually just balancing it on this screw I've got hanging out there. Now I would have liked to have seen another option on here of maybe the ability to just put it onto a screw. There's no, as far as I can see, ability to have the standard sort of screw mounting on here. You kind of have to use this, but at least it's in the box, I guess. So let's take a look at the controller unit then. You can see it's a nice big chunky unit. Very actually quite attractive. I quite like the look of it. And we can see the numbers are very easy to read. We've got a few different features. So this one is constant. So constant is pretty obvious. You're just going to have it on all the time. And then we can just change the speed. And it goes from 0 to 20. So obviously you pick whatever setting you like. M changes it to a feeding mode. We can set the time, so 5-minute feeds. Or we've got a wave feature, so you can use this as a large power head. If you've got a really big aquarium, you can use this to create waves in your fish tank, which is awesome. And then on and off works pretty much as you'd expect. I've got to say, I really like the design of this power box. It's very, very simple. I like the black sheen. The font is really easy to read. It's a good size. We've obviously got the brightness going up and down when you interact with it, or it turns itself off. So actually this controller unit, I would say it's one of my favourites that I've seen on this kind of pump. If you look here, you can see I've just mounted it onto the glass using the suction pads. And in this sort of size tanks, this is a 400 litre aquarium, it would actually serve quite nicely as a large power head. If you needed a lot of flow in this tank, you could easily hide that in one of the corners and use this as a massive power head for this size aquarium. So I'm just experimenting here with the wave feature, because that's something I'm very interested in, having a marine aquarium. And it is generating some waves. Now, it's not as powerful in terms of wave generation as I've seen on some of the more dedicated power heads that are designed specifically to do that, but it is creating a turbulent flow, which I guess is what they mean by wave. And that's kind of what you want if you've got corals and things. You want that turbulence. So what it's doing is it's speeding up and slowing down, basically, and it's creating turbulence. It's not a steady stream flow. It's kind of that variable flow, and I think that would work really well as a power head source in a large coral-based aquarium. Not so important with macroalgae. It's not something that I would need for this particular tank, but it could definitely be used, as I said, as a large power head in a reef tank. Now, this unit does claim to have a memory function. It says that if you get a power cut, it will resume at the same speed and settings that you had it on before. That's important to me because I get a lot of power cuts living out in the countryside. So let's give that a little test. I'm going to unplug and I'll wait 10 seconds, and I've just replugged it, and there we go, the power's back on. We're still set at 15 and we're on our setting. So it does have a memory function, which is great.